We're here in the sunshine, and now that it's back and maybe our yard is starting to come up, it's time to grab your shears. So we're going to talk about that today. Jessica Berrett is here. She's a horticulturist and florist with years of experience making landscapes more beautiful. We're going to talk about what to cut back, what to leave alone, and some simple techniques to keep your whole yard looking so great. You're going to share some expert pruning advice for us today. I think a lot of us are scared.
It can be intimidating, but I promise it's not that hard.
It's not that hard.
You can do it.
Okay, why is it important? What are the benefits of pruning?
So pruning helps to remove some of the dead material on plants. It helps to redirect the plant's energy into putting out the fresh, new, beautiful leaves and flowers that we appreciate, and helps keep them tidy and neat in our yard.
Okay, I like that. So let's talk about, we can prune a lot of things right now, but not everything you say. So what is the rule on when we prune things?
If a plant blooms June or before, we want to hold off because these plants are blooming on stems and wood that they grew last year. So any of these flowers, anything that's blooming right now, let's wait. Also, lilacs are another one that's going to be blooming in the next month or so. We want to wait on those and prune them after they're done blooming.
Okay, so good rule to remember. But if it blooms before June, wait.
Yes.
Wait. Okay, so you have guidelines that are different for everything, but you have some specific ones for specific things, and we're going to talk about those. First of all, roses.
Okay. This is the perfect time of year to be pruning our roses. And for the most part, I like to prune them all just about 12 to 18 inches high. So we have an example right here. This one's already a pretty good size. Your roses at home, if you want them to take up a larger amount of space, you could leave them bigger, but for the most part, that 12 to 18 inches high is a perfect height. And also cut out the dead stuff, anything that looks bad on the plant right now, go ahead and remove it.
That seems small to me, but you're saying you got to do it. Oh, you just have to be brave.
Yes.
Like, I'm pruning this whole thing down to 12 inches.
Yes.
Okay, what about our ornamental grasses? I leave mine during the winter. Is that bad?
No, that's okay. Depending on the type of grass, if they look nice and kind of green right now, I actually don't even cut these back. I rake out the a few dead leaves with a rake, but otherwise these don't need to be cut back at all.
Okay, good. I'm doing it right, Jessica.
But if they look dead like this,
yeah,
that means they've gone dormant, and this is the time to cut them down, just like this, a few inches tall, so that the new shoots can emerge in the spring.
And I love it. I love the grasses. They're just always there, and it just brings like a flowiness to the yard that I really like.
It gives a different texture.
Okay, let's talk about those perennials.
Yes, this is the time when all of our perennials are starting to put up their new shoots. So here's some examples. We've got hostas and coneflowers, and you can see that they've still got some dead material on them from last winter. We can just remove some of the dead materials to make room for the new leaves to grow. And on something like a coneflower, you can kind of see this new growth is coming up. We want to take off all this stuff that grew last year and just make space for those new little shoots to come up.
Look how fun and cute and beautiful. I have like teeny things like this in my yard, and I get so excited.
Yes.
So just get rid of all this.
Yeah, and this plant is gonna come back nice and tall just in the next couple of months. And now it's got space and all that dead stuff is out of the way.
Okay, let's talk about shrubs, trees. I mean, that seems like a really broad, but are they all kind of the same?
So with our shrubs, most of them are going to be spring blooming. I can show you around here on the front.
Okay.
We've got a couple of examples here. So these are some of our summer blooming shrubs. We've got a Russian sage and a bluebeard. And you can kind of see some of last year's growth is lingering here at the top, and we've got fresh growth coming out at the bottom. And so this is a perfect time to just trim off some of this dead material on the edges and shape those the way we want, and they'll bloom later this summer. And with our hydrangeas, this is also a good time to cut those back. There's a few different types of hydrangeas, but most of the ones that we grow in Utah are perfect to be cut back right now.
Right now, just cut them back. And how much are we cutting those back?
Similar to the roses, I would do around 12 to 18 inches.
12 to 18, okay, that's a good rule of thumb. Let's talk about, we talked about the perennials, let's talk about the evergreens that we might have.
Sure. So I'm mostly talking about evergreens with leaves and not needles today, but here's an example of a boxwood. A lot of us have these beautiful boxwoods and other evergreen leaved plants in our yard, and this is a perfect time to give them a little shaping. You can see that this one's got some new growth on it, and it can be nicely trimmed back into a little ball.
Oh, so cute. Is that yours? That is so cute.
Oh, I borrowed it.
You borrowed it.
Adorable.
It is adorable. Okay, so we lightly shape those, and now you brought some tools that we can consider. Talk me through these.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about pruners. I always recommend what's called a bypass pruner. You can see how the blade bypasses this other back piece, and these are the healthiest for our branches and our stems. There's a few other types where the blades just touch each other, but these are the best type
The
for
bypass,
us.
okay.
Yes. And the same thing goes for loppers. If you're cutting large material, you might need a larger tool. And the same thing, we want to look for those that have the blades that crisscross each other.
I'm gonna go home and look at mine. I don't know if mine do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is another cool tool. This is a bypass pruner, but it's electric powered.
Ooh.
So this is awesome for some of those big stems. You know, our hands get tired doing all this pruning.
We do.
And
I got
this
tennis
is an
elbow
amazing tool.
from doing it. Yes. So yes. Okay. An electric option.
Yes.
Love it.
And these are, multiple companies are making these now. So look for one that, if you already have a battery system at your house, look and see if that company makes one.
They might
so
have
you can
one
just
for you.
add on. But watch your fingers, because it doesn't know the difference between a stem and a finger. So
yes.
I've had some close calls with these.
You mentioned the rake
awesome
that
tool.
we can use to get rid of dead stuff.
Yeah, and this is also a great time to kind of do some maintenance on our tools. We can use wire brush. These are some smaller sharpening tools that I just keep on hand to keep my blades sharp at all times. And lubrication is really good for our tools. If you can get your hands on it, you might have to go online, but this is camellia oil.
Oh, yeah, I see it's Asian writing on this side, so okay, camellia.
It's the best for outdoor tools. It's a plant-based oil, but it doesn't go rancid or sticky, and so it lasts a long time.
Oh, such good tips for us. Okay, you got us all itching. We gotta get in our yards, get going. I have my little shoots coming up, so I gotta do all this. Jessica, where can we get more of your expert advice?
So you can find me on Instagram. My handle is plant.geek, and I'm also doing private landscaping for an awesome company called Sunline. So if you have any questions, give us a call.
Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thanks.